Hello, my name is Dan Johnson and welcome back to my channel. Today we are on the eve of the Daleks, and it's about time I did a prediction video for it. I did a lot of them for Flux, and with those predictions I got quite a few good points in there throughout that run. I think it helped that Flux was one big story, so I suppose that there were seeds there laid out, and as we went into the next episode, there was something to cling on to. And with this one, I'm feeling a little bit lost, but I've still got a couple of things. I think the episode is going to be mostly contained to itself and just to the whole time loop idea. I found the creative use within the marketing of using the time loop, like the trailer that they released, which was like the trailer over and over again because it was stuck in a time loop. I thought that was quite clever, and I think that a time loop story is something that hasn't been done in Doctor Who. It's been overused in a lot of sci-fi, but if Chibnall wants to have a go at a time loop story, then go for it. But I don't think that they will connect it much to Flux. You know, the whole pocket watch falling into the TARDIS, all of that kind of stuff, I think is going to be pretty much ignored during the first special. I think it would definitely get picked up, because it has to be picked up before she leaves. I think we might get a teaser, for example, a tease into who a villain might be. You know, the Master, perhaps. People have said Omega would be a good person to bring back for the centenary. If they're going to go down that route, I think that maybe a tease towards it might be a cool idea, in the same way that the Master teased to the Doctor about the Timeless Children in the end of Spyfall Part 2. I think something along those lines as an ending would be quite big, but I'd like to see the thing mostly contained. But I know that Chibnall doesn't really fancy that. He enjoys his mystery boxes and his asking questions point of storytelling. So I think that we'll be getting something leading into these final two episodes on New Year's Day. The marketing, as I said earlier, really focused on the idea of the time loop, and a lot of the marketing also focused on the TARDIS. And I personally believe that this is going to be the thing that links the three specials. The 10th Doctor specials had the four knocks thing. It was introduced in Planet of the Dead. The idea that there's four knocks, and after those four knocks, the Doctor is dead, supposedly. And as the stories go on, it's mentioned multiple times till we get to its actual payoff, which is, of course, who we thought was going to do the four knocks was not actually the person that did. With this, I think that Chibnall is going to use the TARDIS, and I think he's going to be experimenting with the idea that the TARDIS is ill. We've seen from a lot of promo images that the TARDIS is covered in cracks, and it is dying. Even in Flux you can see it dying, and I think that that might be a kind of crossover between the two, so that we're not introduced straight away into like a completely dying TARDIS when it worked perfectly during Flux. To ease that transition, I think that the bits flying out of the TARDIS and stuff like that was intentionally setting up the specials so that there was a nice link between them. And so, broadly speaking, I can see the episode looking like it starts off with them appearing in this time loop, and I think that what's behind the time loop is actually the TARDIS. It's malfunctioned to such a degree that it's just looping time back on itself. Maybe during the climax of the story, the TARDIS malfunctions to such a degree that it breaks down barriers that it previously couldn't, possibly opening up the time stream, possibly opening up prisons that should be locked, such as the prison for Omega. I may have just seen No Way Home, and that's why it's still on my mind, and I've just created a Doctor Who plot around it, but never mind. But then we go into the second part, where it kind of acts a little bit like Stranded, where the TARDIS is taken to a place, abandoned them there, and now there's a whole new adventure to happen. And then as we come into the final part, the TARDIS takes part in the solution, fixing time, and it allows the Master to rise, and whatever Chibnall has planned for this mysterious final episode all revolves around the TARDIS and it breaking or malfunctioning in Eve of the Daleks. So that's kind of like my best bet. It might be complete waffle, which it probably is, to be fair. I personally think there needs to be something linking all three episodes narratively, because then they are just like three specials, which I think would just be a bit odd. you know, as you look back on Jodie's era, you go, okay, so we have series 1, it's her first series, her second series, her third series, and then some 3-ish special things that were a bit all over the place, and were all individual stories that were quite good, but they didn't really have much grasp on an arc. I'm quite looking forward to seeing what we're going to get. I'm interested to see how Chibnall's going to link this into his trilogy idea, the whole Dalek trilogy thing. You know, for the past like 3 years we've had a Dalek story, and the previous two have been linked together through the last remaining Dalek becoming the base print for the rest of the Daleks that were used in Revolution. I'm interested to see about the time loop, because time loops are very cool narrative devices. You can do some really fun stuff within that, as long as it has some kind of consequence. Chibnall's not very good with them. I'd be quite happy. So that's me done for the day. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like, subscribe. If you are new, I plan to do a review, of course, on New Year's Day. In fact, this is going to be the first episode that I've watched in a year that I'll actually watch on the time of release, because by some miracle I'm off New Year's Day. But it's all very exciting. I'm looking forward to being able to see new Doctor Who, which is something that we're going to have to savour over the next year. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this video, and I hope you enjoy Doctor Who as well. But until next time, goodbye.